Christians today are not God's sheep. Perhaps this needs some explanation. How about Jeremiah 31:10? Hear the word of the Lord, O nations, and declare it in the isles, afar off, and say, He who scattered Israel will gather him, and keep him as a shepherd does his flock. For the Lord has redeemed Jacob. Now this certainly sounds like God here, as a good shepherd would do for sure, is promising to gather Israel, his flock, back to him, back into the fold. And you know, this really is a sub-theme or a mini Old Testament prophetic theme in the Bible. Israel's prophets, time after time after time, refer to first covenant Israel as God's sheep or God's flock. Jeremiah 50:17, Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. Jeremiah 23:1-4, woe to the shepherds who destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, says the Lord. Therefore, thus says the Lord of God of Israel against the shepherds who feed my people. You have scattered my flock, driven them away, and not attended them. Well, this too is a sub-theme, if you will, woven throughout the prophets. The leaders of Israel referred to as shepherds of Israel, but in a negative light, negligent of their shepherding duties. And after a long history of false or irresponsible shepherding or shepherds, it's almost as if Israel needed, or maybe they were even looking for and promised, a better shepherd, a good shepherd. Sound familiar? Now, where have we heard that before? Well, here comes Jesus speaking to the Jews, to Israelites, John 10:14. I am the good shepherd, he said. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me. And then we see Peter coming along addressing the pilgrims of the dispersions. These are lost, scattered Israelites in the nations. 1 Peter 2:25, for you were like sheep going astray, but now you have returned to the shepherd and overseer of your souls. Now it's interesting here that Peter says these lost Israelites were like sheep. That aligns with the prophets, and it makes sense. Israel, the house of Israel, had indeed gone astray, and that fits the narrative. They strayed into the surrounding nations, becoming as Gentiles to their Jewish brethren. They needed a shepherd, a good shepherd, to guide them home. And I wonder if Peter had Ezekiel 34 in mind when he wrote that. For thus says the Lord God, indeed, I myself will search for my sheep and seek them out. As a shepherd seeks out his flock on the day he is among his scattered sheep, so will I seek out my sheep and deliver them from all the places where they were scattered. I will seek what was lost and bring back what was driven away. Now wait a minute. I will seek what was lost? And here comes Jesus. Luke 19:10, for the Son of Man has come to seek and save that which was lost. So who exactly was lost? You and me today? All humanity? No. According to the prophets, Israelites in the nations were lost. Israelites. So staying in context here, only Israelites were lost. Only Israelites were God's sheep. And here comes Jesus again, saying in Matthew 15:24, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I was sent only, he says. Here is a biblical fact, my friends. One can scour the entirety of the Old Testament and will not find one passage that speaks of God gathering, of God saving, of God redeeming any people other than his sheeple. Now I'm getting preachy, and that is Israel. When God promised to gather all nations to him, now listen up, it was always within the limited covenant context of Israel's first covenant scattering into the nations, and her eventual new covenant gathering from those very nations. So then, what sounds universal, as if encompassing all humanity, was simply addressing the covenant world of Israel? For example, Isaiah 11:12, he will set up a banner for the nations, the Goyim, and will assemble the outcast of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. But who are these really being gathered from the nations? Again, all humanity on planet Earth? No, these are Israelites from the surrounding nations to which they'd gone. Now, a closer look at the context of such verses, like the one I just read, will reveal that both houses of Israel were coming together from the nations from which they'd been scattered. This was the gathering. This was the redemption in the purview of the prophets. Other passages, similar to this one, often provide details that confirm this. Micah 2:12, for example. I will surely assemble all of you, O Jacob. I will surely gather the remnant of Israel. I will put them together like a sheep of the fold, like a flock in the midst of her pasture. This was the redemptive gospel mission, to bring all the elect, all of God's sheep, Israel, back into the fold through a new covenant. This is how all Israel would be saved. Romans chapter 11.